Las Vegas used to be a place where millions thought they could step in and escape reality. But in 2026, reality in the city is hitting you with a bill.
So I didn't feel like going out tonight, so I ordered room service at Flamingo. And this is what $114 will get you in Vegas. It's getting a little out of hand. I got bread with butter, Caesar salad, French onion soup, and cake. $114, y'all. I don't know about you, but I think there's something wrong with that.
$52.95. $52.95 for this bowl of pasta right here and this drink right here.
Even the CEO of MGM had to exclaim, "A bottle of water for $26. How shameful for us." And that's when you realize the expensive Las Vegas game has officially spiraled out of control. A decade ago, Vegas seduced you with its generosity. This decade, they find ways to empty your wallet before you even reach the poker table. Diving into the Strip right now is no different from throwing your money away.
The biggest criminal situation I've ever been involved in. Not drugs. It's 2 Fiji waters and 1 cup of coffee for $67 fucking dollars.
Very concerned because it's slow. When I drive down the Strip going to work in the morning and I barely see.
Many people wonder why this place has become the only city in the world that sends tourists home in utter disappointment, unlike anywhere else. And surely the answer does not lie in inflation. A $12 bottle of water is just the tip of the iceberg. The real reason is much deeper, and it stems from a group of people on Wall Street who are quietly controlling your wallet. Yes, you heard it right.
Everything is more expensive. We had bought some water and Gatorade, just one each last night. It was almost $25.
I paid $15 to $17 for a 16-ounce can of beer. Budweiser, we buy a whole case for that, but I paid for it.
Yeah. Why did you pay for it?
Because I had to. You're here.
Want to have a good time?
Yeah, you want to have a good time.
A bottle of water costs $25. A can of Budweiser beer costs $17. Well, back home, that amount of money is enough to buy a whole 2-4 pack to drink for a week. But the most expensive question here is not the price, but his answer, I have to buy it, because I've already come here. I want to have fun. It's bitter in that aspect. It may sound like a voluntary and pleasant act, but from the perspective of behavioral psychology, this is actually a state of emotional hostage-taking. You spent a ton of money on plane tickets, took time off work, and flew thousands of kilometers to get here. You can't ruin your entire vacation over an expensive beer, can you? You grit your teeth and swipe your card, and that's when the casino wins.
It's expensive. So the food is just outrageous.
It's about $60 for 2 to eat every meal.
All right, another little travel hack to save money is when you get to where you're going, unload your suitcase so that way you can do Instacart, go meet them down at the, wherever it is, the Uber pickup and drop off, get all your groceries, load up your fridge, and then you can save a ton of money that way and get all the snacks that you want right away.
To understand why Las Vegas has become the only city that brings this particular frustration to visitors, we must rewind a bit in time to what is called the psychological contract, the very thing that once defined Sin City. In the past, Vegas's business model was extremely simple and handsome. The casinos and the tourists had an unspoken agreement. You come here. You accept the risk of losing money at the casino. In return, we, the house, will cover all your living expenses. That's why Vegas used to have rooms for just $39, lobster buffet feasts that were shockingly cheap, and beer that was almost free. In economics, this is called the loss leader strategy, accepting losses or subsidizing basic services to entice you, keeping you in the casino as long as possible. Customers spend comfortably, happily, and feel treated like real kings even with a limited budget. But what happened? As the iconic family-run casinos gradually disappear, making way for mega corporate entities listed on the stock exchange, that contract has been almost ruthlessly discarded. Pressure from shareholders forces them to change their revenue structure. They have completely switched to the extraction model, that is, the model of squeezing or milking money from every category. Now, accommodations are no longer a bait. They have to generate revenue. Cheap buffet restaurants have been replaced by those run by star chefs at exorbitant prices. Even cocktails have increased to $30, and the bar had to install digital monitoring machines to prevent staff from pouring free drinks for customers. They inadvertently turned a place that was once a paradise of entertainment into a spot more expensive than New York or Miami. But the quality of service was inversely proportional.
I am flabbergasted in Las Vegas right now. The prices of things are out of hand. This bottle of water at the Fontainebleau was $8. $8 for a normal sized bottle of water.
What do you love about Las Vegas?
Not much anymore.
Not much. Why not?
It's too expensive now.
Too expensive?
Yep.
Well, yeah, I appreciate you sharing. Thank you.
No problem.
If you find these economic analyses practical and helpful for your upcoming trips, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Just one subscription from you is a huge motivation for me to continue producing high-quality documentary videos like this. And do you know what's worse than a $17 can of beer? That's when you haven't even had a chance to see the casino or the slot machines, and your money has already vanished right from the parking garage. How sophisticated is this financial ambush that even the locals get angry and boycott the strip? Let's move on to the next part to see the corporation's masterful traps.
So I was literally just talking about how I hate when casinos use their parking garage to store old furniture and stuff and don't even bother to try to cover it up or protect it from the elements. If we're not going to protect it, why are we storing it? And then we pulled up and saw this.
This tiny parking lot is the best place to park when you're going to the forum shops. You can park right here, and there's the entrance. I'm not going to tell you where it is, but it's the best.
Do you see? Even those who were born, raised, and make a living in this city can't stand it. So how can we expect distant tourists not to be shocked? There is an ironic truth. In the past, the biggest symbol of Las Vegas's hospitality was the vast, completely free, and extremely easy parking lots. It was like a warm welcome. Welcome to our paradise. Just park your car and come in to have fun. And now?
Hey! Hey, you can't park there! You can't park there!
Many parking garages in Vegas have turned into actual toll booths. You haven't even stepped into the hotel lobby, touched a slot machine, or even ordered a drink, and bam, you've already been taken down at the door with a $25 parking ticket. But this is just regular self-parking, not a premium valet service, not a festival or anything, just the minimum fee for you to be allowed to exist there. It creates a simmering frustration from the very first seconds of the vacation, shattering any initial good impressions.
Las Vegas and Henderson locals, I have a question for you. So I have had meetings with venues on the Strip asking to do happy hours events, and I have told them that I can't even have a discussion about it until you can validate parking. Now, this is my perspective, so I would like to know if I am way off base here. But I told them that locals have felt like they have been being pushed out from the Strip for years, and an olive branch would be free parking for locals. Always, not for 3 hours.
But the parking garage is just the appetizer in the financial ambush strategy of the casino corporations. The pinnacle of frustration, the thing that turns Las Vegas into the only city that offers this utterly disappointing experience, is the system of hidden fees, specifically resort fees.
Sometimes these rooms are over $1,500 a night, and here's how you can get it for almost free. This is a location tag for the Cosmopolitan. Tap it below. I'm constantly checking these rates because they change all the time, but TikTok is partnered with Booking.com now, so you can literally book your hotels without leaving the TikTok app. When I see a great deal, I post a video about it because time is of the essence, so follow along. It's worth it because this one comes with a $100 free food and drink credit per night, so your trip is pretty much free. Check your dates now.
Imagine a familiar scenario like this. See if any of you have ever fallen for it. You scroll through booking apps, your eyes light up when you see a room displaying an incredibly low price, only $39 a night. You excitedly booked it thinking you just scored a great deal. But when you checked out, you were shocked to see the bill included an additional resort fee of up to $45 per night. This fee is even more expensive than the original room rate you paid. They explained that it was a fee for services like the pool, gym, or Wi-Fi. Excuse me, what era are we living in where Wi-Fi is still considered a luxury service that requires an extra fee instead of a basic utility? What's worth mentioning is that these fees are completely mandatory and not transparent from the beginning. Tourists are not angry because of the nature of spending money. They are angry because they feel trapped and deceived. And it doesn't stop at hotels. Even restaurants do the same thing.
The really sneaky thing some restaurants are doing now is bringing a mobile electronic card reader instead of a printed receipt. They're digital here, huh?
What was that?
So they're digital here.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Restaurants like them because they're convenient and contactless. But another big reason restaurants love them is because customers can't see the itemized breakdown.
Hey everyone. A proper vacation should be a time when you can switch off your brain to relieve stress after tiring workdays. You go to an entertainment city to relax. But in Vegas now, tourists fall into a state called mental exhaustion because they constantly have to do calculations in their heads. Every decision, from the smallest to the largest, comes with stressful calculations. Does this restaurant charge hidden service fees? Will this extra can of beer be charged at $17? Walking? Or taking an Uber? Which is more economical? Is it cheaper to leave the strip and eat somewhere else? It was that constant psychological friction that crushed the romance and fantasy of the trip. A trip that from start to finish is filled with caution and calculation is no longer a vacation. It's like a tiring, stressful office job, but with prettier neon lights. This systematic pickpocketing has inadvertently created a very strange wave of demographic shifts in Sin City. There is a deep polarization happening right on the strip. While domestic American tourists are extremely angry and silently vowing not to return, another group of tourists appears completely indifferent, even smiling with delight. Who are these mysterious tourists? And why is this pricing strategy pushing Vegas into a dangerously discriminatory gamble? Keep reading to find out.
To come out here and vacation and prices was good, but I've been here for 2 years, so no, it's crazy.
Comes up to me, welcome to Las Vegas. And this town was so magical to me. All of the parts of it. Red Rock, Ethel M's Chocolate Factory, Lake Las Vegas, all of these things I got to experience, and I'm so grateful for that.
At this point, the story begins to take an extremely interesting and contradictory turn. The same Las Vegas, but one side thinks it's not worth visiting while the other is extremely excited. Why is there this oddity? Why are domestic American customers furious while some European customers are indifferent and others complain about culture instead of money? This is something that if you only look at the usual inflation numbers, you will never realize. Las Vegas in 2026 is quietly changing its customer base, and it seems they are no longer designed to serve Americans. Let's do a bit of basic demographic math to see the psychological trap here. International guests flying in from London, Sydney, or Dublin are already accustomed to living in the most expensive megacities on the planet. For them, a cup of coffee priced at $7 to $9, a can of beer priced at $14 back home is an everyday occurrence. So, when they see the Vegas menu, they are not surprised. They find it to be a given. Not to mention, from a behavioral psychology perspective, when a traveler has already spent $200 just to buy a long-haul flight ticket, a 2-cup of coffee or an expensive bottle of water is not heavy enough to ruin the mood of the entire trip. They see Vegas as a once-in-a-lifetime luxurious destination. They have prepared a huge budget to spend. But for the American middle class, the story is a deeply nostalgic wound. Americans know very well how valuable Vegas used to be. They remember the cheap steak dinners, the rooms under $50, and the feeling of being welcomed like a king, even with a not-so-thick wallet. International visitors look at Vegas with a sense of distant curiosity, while Americans view Vegas through the memories of a homeowner being pushed to the margins by their own house. Beside the money story, Vegas is facing a serious crisis in brand positioning called scent. The legalization of this risky plant in Nevada is legal, but allowing its scent to envelop the Strip, where families and children stroll, has inadvertently stripped Sin City of its inherent glamour and class. International guests choose destinations that are extremely discerning and sophisticated. When the atmosphere becomes too chaotic and loses its luxury, they will immediately pack their bags and head to Dubai, Monaco, or Singapore. What do you think about this perspective battle? Do you side with the American tourists who want to find the old values? Or do you think the current prices are normal for an entertainment capital? Please leave a comment below so we can discuss together. And if you enjoy these practical demographic analysis angles, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to support the channel in reaching new milestones. But the casino corporations on the Strip don't seem too concerned about the anger of Americans. They are engrossed in pursuing a bigger gamble, betting their entire future on the ultra-rich international elite and virtual influencers to optimize short-term profits. Is this a genius move or a fatal mistake in the economic structure of Wall Street? Let's move on to the next part to find the answer. To answer the big question, why has Vegas become the only city daring enough to systematically harm the experience of tourists like this? We are forced to lift the velvet curtain of neon lights to look into the economic core. This is not simply a short-term price increase due to inflation. This is a complete overhaul of the entire structure of the American entertainment industry. If you look back at the history of the Strip a few decades ago, most of the iconic casinos were operated under the family casino model, which Americans call mom and pop casinos. The old owners were the ones who directly stood in the lobby, observing the mood of each card player. They understood a very simple philosophy. Service business is a business based on human emotions. Happy customers, customers who feel valued, will stay longer and willingly spend more. However, with the advent of the modern era, the wave of mergers among major casino financial corporations has swept away these independent establishments. Instead, there is the absolute dominance of mega corporations listed on the Wall Street Stock Exchange, such as MGM, Caesars, and Boyd. And this is the turning point. When a casino becomes a public company, the dealer is no longer the one dealing cards at the poker table. At this point, the house is actually the Wall Street shareholders. And the shareholders, they sit in New York. They don't care how tiring it is for you to fly here from Nebraska or Canada. The only thing they care about is the quarterly financial reports, quarterly returns, how to ensure the revenue per square meter chart keeps going up. This invisible pressure has stifled the service subsidy philosophy that used to retain customers in old Vegas. Wall Street looks at a subsidized buffet and says, loss must be eliminated. They look at the free parking lot and say, wasting space. They must charge $25. Under their optimization, the business model has been completely reversed. The casino floor is no longer the sole revenue driver for the entire building. Now, every square meter, from the bar, restaurant, and beds to the bottles of water in the lobby, must transform into an independent profit-generating center. When algorithms and Excel spreadsheets coldly, completely replace the instincts of those in the hospitality service industry, the soul of the city officially disappears. Gambling should have been the only risk you had to bear when coming to Sin City. Now, the biggest risk lies right in your hotel bill and living expenses. You see, this corporate change explains why everything in Vegas suddenly feels like a straightforward transaction, devoid of any goodwill. I know that most of you watching this video are the smartest consumers, and I know you watch socioeconomic analysis videos not just for entertainment, but to understand how the flow of money operates around your lives. If you support in-depth analytical content that exposes the root of the issues in this documentary style, please help me spread the video by hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel. Let's activate the YouTube algorithm with your interactions so that quality content has a better chance to stand out. Back to the story. The danger of the Wall Street lemon squeezing model is that it takes away the sense of freedom from tourists. People can accept losing money if they feel happy and respected. But when they feel they are being ripped off even for the most basic needs, they will immediately shut their wallets. This excessive optimization by mega resorts is ironically creating a very counterproductive effect. Let's see how it works. This excessive optimization of mega resorts is ironically creating a counterproductive effect. While the glitzy Strip is struggling to see middle-class American customers quietly withdraw, not far away, a few old-school casinos, which Wall Street considers outdated, are thriving and flourishing more than ever by doing the opposite. What have they done to prove that a business philosophy based on human connection can still triumph over cold Excel spreadsheets? Let's take a look at a contrasting case study, the rise of Old Vegas and why it works. Come on, everyone. We've talked too much about the dark sides, the shocking bills, and the meticulous calculations of the big corporations. If the script continues like this, it would be really unfair to this entertainment land, wouldn't it? Because right in the heart of Las Vegas in 2026, amidst the Strip's struggle with a crisis of tourist trust, there are still bright spots proving the opposite. They show that when you treat customers with kindness and generosity, they will reward you with a fortune. That is the spectacular rise of the old Vegas style. Vegas of core values. Let's look at the first extremely interesting case, Circus Hotel. While competitors on the Strip are frantically investing millions of dollars into digital gambling systems with complex integrated applications to optimize every second of play for customers, Circus is doing something that leaves Wall Street baffled. They brought back the traditional paper bingo game. Completely. No computers, no touch screens, just sheets of paper, markers, and the simple calling of numbers, just like the old days. And guess what happened? Tourists line up for a long time to play. People come here not for the technology, but because they crave the nostalgic feeling, the longing for connection and pure joy untainted by commercialization that Vegas once had. But the most explosive story, worthy of a classic business lesson, must be about the South Point Hotel. When the field reporter came to interview Ryan, the general manager of South Point, he candidly admitted a shocking piece of information. The hotel's buffet area is losing a huge amount of money every year. For corporations operating with a Wall Street mindset, this is an economic crime, and that buffet area would be immediately shut down and replaced with a luxury restaurant to optimize profits. But Ryan is different. He firmly declared that he never intended to get rid of this buffet area simply because their customers absolutely love it. When the reporter asked, "So what does South Point gain by accepting such heavy losses?" he didn't give a lengthy presentation about revenue figures or growth forecasts. He just remained silent and smiled, then pointed directly toward the row of slot machines that were incessantly jingling in the outer lobby. There! That is the true mindset of a genuine bookmaker, the true soul of Vegas. You don't need to find ways to squeeze customers right from the 2 bottles of water or the $25 parking fee at the door. Bring them in, through the front door, give them a delicious, affordable meal, and make them feel happy, appreciated, and safe. And once the tourist's mindset is relaxed, they will willingly open their wallets at the card tables and slot machines with joy. It's a mutually beneficial, symbiotic relationship, not a one-sided financial extraction. Do you think the action of pointing at the slot machine by that director is cool? It shatters all rigid business theories taught in classrooms. If you also love these heartwarming stories of overcoming adversity and practical economic lessons, remember to hit the hype button for the video, like it, and subscribe to the channel right away. Your support is the best way for us to build a community of wise viewers who enjoy delving into the essence of society rather than superficial content on the internet. Thank you all so much for subscribing. After all, we humans don't need anything too extravagant when we travel. My audience, we need to feel welcomed. Old Vegas wins not because they are cheap, but because they provide true value and generosity, something that mega resort corporations have inadvertently lost in their Excel spreadsheets. The success of old-style casinos like South Point is a vivid testament to the fact that the old value equation still works perfectly. However, are these rescue signals strong enough to awaken an entire corporate system that is being swept away by the wave of short-term profits on the Strip? Or will Vegas continue to sink deeper into the price trap and push itself into an irreversible crisis? Now is the answer.